Well, this is me for the weekend. I'm out on the land again, and I'm inviting you to join me for a little adventure. This is the most exciting thing I've ever done in my entire life, and I have traveled the world for 20 years. I was a professional adventure guide. I have been around the world, literally speaking on stages, teaching people, learning so much, like leading adventures into nature, doing all this cool shit. I love nature, by the way, and people. But look at this, I'm on the land. The sun is just setting at the back there. And I'm here for the weekend. So I just got the fire ready. I actually forgot the key. So that's the little hut of which it's getting warm enough. I was going to sleep in that tonight. Or I was going to stay back in the, if you saw my last video last weekend, I was in the banya, in the sauna. I forgot the key. So I got here, it's like 2 hours on the train, half an hour in a cab. I got here and it was the moment I stepped on the land, I was like, oh my God, I forgot the key. So I quickly figured out that I could sleep up there. This is an old rickety ladder. And I cleaned out the attic today, and I'm going to sleep up there. I've got a warm sleeping bag, so I'll be fine. It's not that cold. But I'm going to have the fire down here tonight, and I'm going to chill out. So yeah, life is good. I've come out here for the weekend. Tomorrow is a concert at the hall. A few years ago, they built a hall here. They now run a school out of there, and they do concerts, I don't know, probably once a month, but in summer more often. And they get some of the greatest, like, conscious bands. So tomorrow night is a great band called Adno No, which means one but, and it's a super spiritual guy who like sings and raps, and he's got a 2 or 3 piece band. We've seen him once in Nizhny Novgorod, so we're going to go see that. I can't access the shed. There's a shed behind there. You can just see it. So I can't get any of the tools. I was going to, the rabbits seem to be eating the fruit trees. So I was going to wrap the fruit trees with some, there's some green netting that they've done, but no one's been here. They planted this out like 10 years ago, maybe, I think it was. Yeah, probably about 10 years ago. And they've just neglected it. The last few years, it's done nothing. So I need to do some stuff on the fruit trees. But it's interesting because I wanted to ask this question and I forgot. Don't you think this is the way we need to be living? Right? Like, look at this little huts. We're building a house. We're working with an architect now. We're going to build a house just over here, but like close to the land in the forest. I just went for a massive walk out the back there. Just as far as it took me all the way to like a power line, one of those big industrial power lines in the middle of the forest. But isn't this how we should be living? Close to the land, growing food. I'm going to build a really big greenhouse just out there with the full sunshine. Community, there's 200 families that live out here. I've got a conscious event tomorrow night. This is what I've dreamed of my whole life. Now, a lot of Aussies go, oh, but it's too cold. Look at the snow. It's like, come on, look at my nose. I'm a white guy. I grew, like my family, for however generations, hundreds of thousands of generations, have lived like this little spoiled boy from the tropics. Come on, we can get used to this, and I'm getting used to it. Like, I'm out here, it's not even that cold for me anymore. I'm getting better at it, and the ice baths help too. But this is life, 4 seasons, real forest. Not that Australian forest is not real, but eucalypt forest versus like pine and birch forest, it's such a different energy. And there's just so much life here. All this snow is melting into the ground. Everything just jumps out of the ground come summer. It's a beautiful, just conscious, connected to nature way of living. And I've just dreamt of this my entire life. And I'm very, very happy to be here. So maybe you feel the same way. I'd love to hear in the comments how many people right now are going, man, you got to be living on the land. You got to be living on the land. But not only because hard times are coming, and we need to grow food and be in community, but because this is how we're designed to live. We've been caught up in this bullshit rat race, make money, live in the city, and we see where that's heading, right? The smart cities and all of this stuff that's coming, total surveillance and control. We're not designed for that. We're designed for this. Nature, living close to the land, in the forest, with community, right? This is life. An open fire tonight. As that sun sets and it starts getting dark, I have my open fire. I'm going to sit out here. I'm going to climb up my makeshift ladder and sleep up. Like, maybe you don't want that. I don't know. It's a bit rough, but my wife definitely wouldn't do it. She would for a few nights. I shouldn't say that, but not for long term. But this is how we're meant to live. So whatever you whatever you do in your life, especially over the next few years, I would highly encourage you to get as close to the land as you can. Be one with nature. Get out of our heads, because I'm a culprit like anybody else. I live too much up here. Get out of our heads and into our bodies, which then brings us into our hearts, right? You've got the 7 chakra. You've got this one that's working overtime. This one here is all struggling. And right in the middle is your heart just waiting to burst open. So if we can move from the head, everyone says, move to the head to the heart. Yeah, that's pretty easy. Try and stop a pendulum swinging from one side to the middle. The pendulum's going to swing to the other side before it finds its way into the middle, right? We've all been taught to live in our head. We need to get back into what's real, into our dantian, into the energy center of the physical form that then brings us into our hearts. The pendulum will swing into the middle. This is how it works. So being close to nature, getting out of the technology, high technology, getting out of the technology and into the body, into the natural, the sexuality of life, this physicality, that will then bring us into opening our hearts and living from that center. So that's what I have to say about that. I'm going to go and have a lovely fire. I love you heaps. We're on the journey. We're doing it. Life is good. We got to let go of the word struggle. We've just got to come back to peace with ourselves, which is nature. The village that I live in is called Mirnoy, which means peaceful. Mir means peace. It also means world in Russian. The same word for world and peace. And I was like, so how do you say world peace? And I got this like whole other thing. But world and peace are the same word. And Mirnoy is where I live. Peaceful. So I'm here to be peaceful. And I invite you to join me. I love you so much. Scotty Z. If this resonates as always, please share it so more people feel this energy. And comment. I'd love to read all the comments and connect with you. I love you so much. Bye. It's a fire.